Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I have some goodies from Christmas to share with you. Well, Happy New Year. Happy 2024. I hope that your new year is off to a great start, and I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas as well. We had a wonderful time here, and today I wanted to share some of my Christmas goodies with you, all the books that I received for Christmas time. I have a whole stack of vintage books as well as some new books too. You know how I am about those vintage books. I love all the old books. And so around here we do buy a lot of secondhand kind of things at Christmas time. That might sound a little strange, but we all love vintage things. And so during the year, if I see something at Goodwill or a thrift store, I don't mind putting that away and wrapping it up for Christmas, because my boys like old books and old albums and games and things too. And so they're just things that you can't find anymore, and it makes it just special. And so we enjoy that, and we always exchange a lot of vintage kind of things with each other. But I also have some new books too, and so I want to share some of those. And as I was opening them, I was thinking about you, and I thought, oh, they will love this. They'll love this. I can't wait to share it with my community. So I'm excited to do that now. But first, I want to share a couple of things I received in the mail, and that is right before Christmas, I received something from Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books. She knows I'm trying to collect the Catherine Marshall books, and she sent me 2 new books. So one is called Meeting God at Every Turn, a personal family story. And again, these are by Catherine Marshall, who wrote Christie, the historical fiction Christie. If you haven't read that, you need to pick that up. And then the other is Spiritual Discoveries from Her Journals, and it's called A Closer Walk. So she sent me these 2 books. Thank you to Elizabeth, because I didn't have these. I didn't realize that Catherine Marshall wrote all of these nonfiction books, so I'm excited to have these. This year, I am going to try to read more nonfiction. I have lots of nonfiction on my shelf, and I just don't pull it off of my shelf enough. So I'm happy to have these, because this will be some more that I can add to my nonfiction TBR goals this year. So thank you to Elizabeth for that. And then I also received from Mary, one of my viewers. She sent me this beautiful Christmas card and this wonderful note inside. And she had found a book at a library sale. She found 2 Nancy Drew, and these are, she said, I know they're not the matte ones that you're collecting, but I thought you could read those until you have those in your collection. And thank you to Mary, because I don't have these books, so this would be a good way for me to get, if I get to these, because who knows if I can find them in the matte type book edition anyway. But this is The Secret of the Forgotten City, and this is number 52, so it's way down there. And then this one is 46. I love the cover of this one, The Invisible Intruder. I love the cover. Can you see that? Try not to get my ring light in there. I loved that cover, the look on their faces. So thank you for those. And then she also sent me the Mitford cookbook, and she said, I'm not even sure if you are reading the Mitford At Home in Mitford series. This is the cookbook that goes with it. She said, but just in case, I'm going to send you that too. So when she goes to library sales, she's shopping for me as well, and I just love it. So thank you, Mary, for that. I am reading the Mitford series. That is one of the things that I am doing this year. Another goal, as I did this last year, so I'm going to do it again this year, is the Serious About Series challenge that Elizabeth does over on her channel. And one of my goals is the At Home in Mitford series. I need to continue that. So this would be a fun way to celebrate as I go along in that series. So thank you to Elizabeth and to Mary for those sweet surprises in the mail. So I also, as I mentioned earlier, received some new books for Christmas, because I did have a wish list that my family kind of picked things from to give to me. And one thing, my son Caleb, he gave me this a few days before Christmas so I could go ahead and read it. It's I Saw 3 Ships by Elizabeth Googe. And this was so good. I'm going to talk about it in my December wrap-up. But this was really a great book to read right before Christmas. I think it was a couple of days before Christmas that I actually picked this up and read it. And it's super short, but I really enjoyed that. And then I also received Aggie Morton, The Body Under the Piano. This is a mystery, a middle grade mystery series, and I've heard about this a lot. I think a couple of you have actually recommended this series to me. So I'm excited for this. I do want to get started on this. Let me know if you've read this series. And then this was a book, I think I saw this on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. I think I saw this on her channel. Maybe not. She's the reason that I read so many Agatha Christie. So that's why when it's Agatha Christie, I usually see it on her channel. But this is called A is for Arsenic, The Poisons of Agatha Christie. And I've had my eye on this for quite some time. This, I think, is kind of the different poisons and methods that Agatha Christie uses in her mysteries to kill off the different victims. And so I was interested in this. I don't know why. It just sounded interesting. And it pertains to Agatha Christie. So I thought I could read through all of her books, and then this would be a good way to celebrate reading all the books. I don't want to read it now because it might have some spoilers in here, but I did think that this would be an interesting sort of companion to reading Agatha Christie. And then another, speaking of a companion to reading Agatha Christie, this is one I was really excited about receiving this year. It is Agatha Christie, A Very Elusive Woman. This is a biography by Lucy Worsley. I read Lucy Worsley's At Home with Jane. It was a Jane Austen biography. Very interesting. I really enjoyed that. And so I had this on my wish list too, and so they came through and picked this one up for me as well. So I'm excited for this one. Again, I'm not going to pick up these Agatha Christie books until I finish all of the books, because there may be spoilers in there, and I don't want anything spoiled for me. And I do have a ways to go, but this will be a great way to sort of celebrate once I do finish all of those Agatha Christie books. And let me know if you've read any of these. And then I received a couple of special editions that I'm very excited about. I mean, I was jumping for joy when I opened these from under the tree. This is Jane Eyre, and this is the painted edition. These are just gorgeous. I gave away one of these for the Moore Montgomery Challenge, and I wanted it. It was the Anne of Green Gables, and I told my husband, this thing is so beautiful. So he picked up Jane Eyre for me, since I love that one so much. But it's actually you can feel the imprint on it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of imprinted on there. You can actually feel it. And then on the back, look at the beautiful house. These are just gorgeous painted editions, and I love this, so I was excited for that. And then I also received a Folio Society book. I love those too, and they are quite pricey. But this is a book that I fell in love with last year. It became a favorite immediately, and that is, you can you tell by this slip cover? You can tell by the slipcase what this is. It is the 101 Dalmatians, and it comes in this really cute little slipcase. And look at how beautiful this is. All those Dalmatians, the beautiful color. I love how that blue makes the little black and white puppies on this stand out. I love the spine. I don't know if you can see. There is a Cruella right there. Can you see her? I'll get out of there so you can see it. See that? How beautiful that spine is. Just love this book, y'all. The inside, the end paper. Can you see that? Isn't that just gorgeous? Just absolutely gorgeous. And so the inside has these beautiful pictures. I don't know if you can see that. And then the font's beautiful on it too. It is just one beautiful book, and well made as well. So I was excited for this because I fell in love with this book last year. It's actually a Christmas book. I didn't know that it was set around Christmas time. It's a great one to read at Christmas. So if you think about it, pick this up if you haven't read it. 101 Dalmatians by Dodie Smith. Read at Christmas time. It's really, if you're an animal lover like me, especially a dog lover like me, you'll love this one. So this was a wonderful surprise too. And then my husband also picked up some vintage books for me, and I was very excited because he found me a whole lot from eBay of Nancy Drew. And I am hosting a Nancy Drew read-along on my channel, and so we are chatting on Voxer. So if you want to be a part of that, you certainly can. You do not have to read those in order. you can certainly join us. We have just started number 4, The Mystery at Lilac Inn. And we're doing that one for January. So if you want to just hop in there with us, you can email me. My email's always in the description box, that you want to join our Voxer group and you can read along with us. But anyway, because I was doing that read along, I told my husband, you know, I've got to get these books, and I wanted these matte covers. And so he found a lot of them. And so I was excited for that. So this is number 5, The Secret of Shadow Ranch. And he has 5 through 10 and then another one. But this is The Secret of Shadow Ranch. And then number 6 is The Secret of Redgate Farm. I love the cover of that one too. And then this is The Clue in the Diary. I remember reading this one. And Nancy's Mysterious Letter. This one seems familiar too. I might remember this one. As I go, I'm sure I'll remember a lot more. The Sign of the Twisted Candles. I think I remember this one too. There's a glare. I'm trying to get the glare off. And then this is number 10, Password to Larkspur Lane. So now I have 1 through 10 of these matte picture Nancy Drews. And then this one was just in the lot as well that he found. 22, The Clue in the Crumbling Wall. And so now I have those, and I'm really excited about it. And then I also have the other 2 that Mary sent me, so I have those as well. So I am off to a great start with my Nancy read-along. My husband also found some Dickens books. These are actually written by a relative of Charles Dickens. They were, they're not written by them. They were retold by one of his relatives. And it's the children's stories of Charles Dickens. And it's just parts of some of his novels put into a little abridged form for children. And so I have The Runaway Couple, and they're so cute. These little books are so cute. There's The Runaway Couple, and then Jenny Wren. There's that one. And then this one is Little David Copperfield. And I just thought these were the sweetest things, but he said that when he went into the little bookstore, there were 3 of them sitting there, and so he picked those up for me. He also found On Christmas Day in the Evening by Grace S. Richmond. I loved this too. I thought that was perfect. I love little Christmas stories, and especially these old vintage ones. So I looked up Grace Richmond because I'd never heard of Grace Richmond, and she's written a lot of things, and this was a sequel to her On Christmas Day in the Morning. So this is On Christmas Day in the Evening, and it's a sequel. So apparently that one did well, so she wrote a sequel to it, and so I'm excited to try this one next Christmas. And then this one I really loved. It's a short story collection called Journey into Christmas by Bess Streeter Aldrich. Look at how beautiful that is. This dust jacket's in great shape to be as old as it is. And I loved the Christmas tree on the back. I just thought this was a beautiful book. So I was excited for that, because you know how I'm about the short stories at Christmas time and any of the vintage Christmas books. So this was a beautiful find as well. And then my son found me a Rod Serling. I love Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is my favorite show of all time. I've never watched the newer Twilight Zone or the movie or any of that. I'm talking about the original Rod Serling Twilight Zone. I like the one from the 1960s. And this is some of his short stories. This is called Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone, but it's 13 new stories for young people. So I am very interested in this because I do love The Twilight Zone, but I'm interested to see how he translates those type stories for children, for young adults or middle grade. This is probably more like a middle grade book. So I'm interested in this. I might try to read this during middle grade March. I'm not sure yet if I can wait that long, because there's 13 short stories, so it should, and it's middle grade, so it shouldn't take me too long to go through it. But I was really excited about this because anything this Twilight Zone, my family knows I want it. So I was happy to see this. And then this was a great find too. My husband said when he went into that little bookstore, the used bookstore where he found the Charles Dickens, he saw this and knew I had to have it. He wasn't sure if I had this book or not, and I didn't. It is Remember Death by Agatha Christie. Y'all look at how great this looks, this old book. I don't know if it's going to shine on there or not, but this is how it looks. And it's in great shape. And no, I do not have this, but this is, I think this is Sparkling Cyanide, which I do have and I've read. I love that book. I didn't have this in Remember Death. When I looked at the front and saw this, though, I thought, I bet you that's Sparkling Cyanide. Just by the graphic on the front, I thought that looks like Sparkling Cyanide. I have a paperback of Sparkling Cyanide. It's a newer book. So this is definitely a bigger treasure than that copy. So I was happy for this. And I'm going to reread it now in this edition. So I'm excited for that one. And then one other book that I received is a comic book. My son gave me a illustrated classic. That's what they're called. No, Classics Illustrated is what they're called. He gave me A Tale of Two Cities last year, and I loved it. I immediately read it, fell in love with that format. I'm not a big graphic novel kind of person, but classics, you know how much I love classics. I loved it. I just thought it was so good because I was familiar with the story, and it was a way for me to experience the story again in a different format, and I just loved it. So my family surprised me with Jane Eyre. Look at this. Is that not perfect? Is that not wonderful? So I was just thrilled. So happy for this illustrated comic book of Jane Eyre. So I can't wait to read this too. And so I am thrilled by all the gifts that I received. They know me so well, and I was just so happy to receive these. They are just precious, precious, precious. So thank you to my family, and thank you to my friends out there who gave me these wonderful surprises for Christmas. So let me know if you've read any of these, and did you receive a special book for Christmas? Let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.